Signed, sealed, and delivered.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too.
The president describing this as much more than a hostage exchange and ceasefire. He's promising the region a new golden age.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Trump says the Gaza deal might be his biggest accomplishment yet, and that's saying a lot, although he hasn't finished the big, beautiful ballroom. To him, the deal is more beautiful than any tower, any course, any coin. The deal is as beautiful as Melania, almost.
They all wanted to see this happen. That's the amazing thing. Everybody came together at this point. If you go back 6 months or 7 months, you would have said a thing like this is impossible. They all wanted this to happen, and it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Everybody wanted this, but they never tried. And when they did it the wrong way. Instead of giving the Iranians bribes, he bombed them. He sold the Arabs tech instead of just weaponry, and didn't lecture them about human rights abuses. He let Israel fight their own wars, joined in when it made sense, and then told them to cut it out when it didn't. Trump discovered that the Palestinian statehood wasn't a goal. It was just a stumbling block. Joe Biden, in a weird way, did bring the Jews and Muslims together. They both hated him. President Trump, the Jews and the Muslims, respected. And now families are being reunited for the first time in 2 years. For a man who's accused of separating families, he sure knows how to bring them together. And it feels so good.
The hostages are back. The hostages are back. It is a good feeling. Isn't that nice to say? You know, I just said the hostage. First time I said the hostages are back. It feels so good to say it.
Kamala wanted a ceasefire without getting the hostages back. How does that look now? Biden said Trump stole his peace plan. How does that look right now? The cover of the Jerusalem Post, God bless the peacemaker. From Air Force One, Trump was welcomed with a big thank you on Israeli beaches. In the town square, they were chanting his name.
You heard the whole crowd here started to erupt into cheers of thank you, Trump, thank you, Trump. Fair to say that President Trump is possibly even more popular here than he is in the United States.
Wolf Blitzer says people are wearing MAGA hats in the Middle East.
And when I was there, I even saw people wearing Make America Great Again hats in that crowd over at Hostage Square.
Israeli ministers were seen wearing red hats today that said, Trump the peace president. Hakeem should wear one of those instead of the sombrero. Netanyahu says he's got a new BFF.
Donald Trump is the greatest friend that the state of Israel has ever had in the White House.
The Arabs haven't had an American president this good since Bush the Elder. It's not easy to get Jews and Muslims to love someone this much. They can't agree about anything. Egyptian F-16s even gave Air Force One a big, beautiful escort today. Meanwhile, Trump was on the phone with Arab investors to help turn Gaza into the Mideast Mar-a-Lago.
I'm pleased to announce that numerous countries of great wealth and power and dignity have come forward to me just today and over the last week to say they want to help in the reconstruction of Gaza, putting up whatever money is necessary.
The Mideast used to be a money pit, and somehow Trump's turned it into an investment opportunity and has everybody else putting up most of the capital. Fingers crossed the deal sticks. Now, Pakistan's demanding the Nobel Committee do a recount.
I would like to nominate this great president for Nobel Peace Prize. And I think that you're the man this world needed most at this point in time.
A decade ago, Pakistan was caught harboring Osama bin Laden, and now they're kissing the feet of an American president. Time magazine put him on the cover, calling the peace deal his triumph. But Trump's humble. He doesn't want all the credit.
Marco will go down, I mean this, as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of the United States. I believe that. I believe it. And he and I, we really fought it out. You remember, he was tough. He was nasty. Who the hell thought this was going to happen, Marco, right?
And Witkoff got a big shot out, too.
Steve started this all by himself. I call him Henry Kissinger, who doesn't leak, okay? Henry is a big leaker. He leaked. Steve doesn't leak. Steve just wants to get the job done. He wants to do what's right.
New York real estate developers did more for peace in the Middle East than what career diplomats did in decades. Hillary said Trump didn't even have the temperament to be president.
Everyone thought I was going to be brutal. In fact, I remember Hillary Clinton during a debate, she said, look at him, he's going to go to war with everybody. And actually, she said, he's got a personality that's all about war. No, my personality actually is all about stopping wars, and it seems to work.
Democrats are now saying, thank God we didn't have Kamala.
It pains me somewhat to admit this, but yes, he's certainly been good for the Middle East and for Israel in a way that I don't think there was any reason to expect Harris to be good.
Even Kamala is giving Trump credit.
I don't think that we should hold in credit where it's due, and I commend the people who have been a part of this process. I'd commend the Qataris, the Egyptians, and the president.
If Kamala had succeeded in putting Trump in prison, Iran would have still had nukes and Hamas would have still had hostages. The best Biden and Harris could do for Gaza was spend hundreds of millions on a pier that sank into the ocean. Even Biden's guys are now giving MAGA credit.
I give credit to President Trump. I give credit to Witkoff and Kushner and Rubio. These are hard jobs.
This shouldn't be political. We can all celebrate peace and the hostage release, but we do have to keep score. A lot has been said.
If he gets the Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on the show and say, thank you for doing it.
Well, we watched The View today and no hat. Rashida Tlaib was banging pots and pans, screaming free Gaza. Trump just freed Gaza. No tweets, no speeches, no press releases, nothing. And the woman's Palestinian. Seems like she was more into the Intifada. Even Fetterman's asking, where's Rashida?
Absolute elation. I mean, how can we all celebrate this thing? I mean, you've had human beings held underground for over 2 years and tortured and beaten and starved, forced to dig their own graves and things. Now they can finally come back home. And now everyone should be celebrating these things.
If Democrats had their way, Trump would have been rotting away in prison like a hostage instead of freeing them. Why can't the left just say we were wrong? They held signs that said, end genocide now. Trump ended what they said was genocide. Not even a thank you. No, sorry about the whole Hitler thing. Now we should make them call him Gandhi. Trump's on a roll, and he's reaching out to friends and foes.
Yet even to Iran, whose regime has inflicted so much death on the Middle East, the hand of friendship and cooperation is open. I'm telling you, they want to make a deal. That's all I do in my life. I make deals. I'm good at it. I've always been good at it. And I know when they want. Even if they said, we don't want to make a deal, I can tell you they want to make a deal.
With this Mideast momentum, Trump's turning his eyes back to Ukraine. He's flirting with sending Zelensky tomahawks to make Putin feel more pain. Carrot hasn't worked. Trump thinks it might be time for Putin to feel some stick. Now, if Israel and Hamas can make a deal, Russia and Ukraine can too. Trump's more accomplished in 9 months than most presidents do in a term. He's still got 3.5 years left, and he's already racked up 8 peace deals, trillions of dollars of investments and trade deals. A secure border, tax relief, crime down in D.C., record stock market, low gas prices, and cooling inflation. When Trump meets Xi Jinping next month in South Korea, China is going to be facing an American president battle-tested and with the wind at his back. We're witnessing a historic presidential legacy being written in real time. The only question now is, how big?
Is there a dream that you're still trying to chase, or have you reached all your dreams?
You're asking questions like you're a television I thought I was just going to come out and play around the golf with you. You're asking questions like I'm on television. Yeah, no, look, you become president. That's a dream, right?
Yeah.
Can't.
I don't think you
Now you can, no, you dream now you want to be a great president.
Yeah.
Now you're president. Now your dream is to be a great president.
I think you're doing a pretty good job.
Welcome to Hannity, and we start tonight with a Fox News alert. Tonight, President Trump just pulled off something once thought impossible, and the nation and the world are a safer place. For the first time in decades, we now have a clear path and committed coalition of partners to achieve a true, lasting peace in the Middle East. Take a look.
This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for. Together, we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there.
Okay, so how did we get here? How did Trump pull this off when so many others had tried and failed? First, it is critically important to understand President Trump, more than any other president in the modern era, does understand the power, the influence of this country, the USA, and he is willing to use both economically, militarily, to make the world a better and safer place. After Afghanistan, guess what? America now stands bright and tall as the leader not only of the free world, but of the entire world. And this brings us to 4 critical points: how this all went down, how it all happened. And only Donald Trump could convince Israel. Why? Because of his long-standing support for Israel. And only Trump could get Israel to stop wiping out Gaza completely. That war was won. They just had to finish it. This, of course, after we had Hamas attacking Israel for decades, culminating with the attacks a little over 2 years ago on October 7th. Now, number 2, only Trump could convince a coalition of neighboring Arab countries to join in these peace efforts. Why? Because after decades, many of these countries, most of these countries, wanted nothing to do with any solution, and he was able to forge deep alliances with countries. Why? Because they trusted him. They respected him. He built up real and meaningful relationships with all of them. Number 3, you cannot underestimate the impact of Donald Trump sticking to his promise. Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, and then taking out the Iranian nuclear sites. The world knows that President Trump does not make idle threats. And this he has proven with the Trump doctrine over and over and over again. And more recently gave Iran 50 days, choose peace. They said no. On day 51, Israel got the green light. They attacked Iran's ballistic missile sites, their air defense systems, and then we took out their nuclear facilities. Well, he gave them the choice for peace. They rejected it. Number 4, Trump said to Hamas, you can do it the easy way, you can do it the hard way. They initially rejected this deal. President Trump doubled down, said, if you reject this deal, you will be obliterated. Clearly, they believed him, and their minds were changed. This is the embodiment. This is not a phrase that conservatives use, peace through strength. Trust but verified. No, these are real principles that work in real time, and we watched it unfold before our eyes today. And as Time magazine rightly pointed out, this is Trump's triumph. But this is so much more than a political win. Thanks to the president, his team, countless lives have been saved on both sides of this conflict, including all 20 living hostages now released by Hamas. Thank God. Take a look.
Over the past 2 years, I've met many of the families of the Israelis taken hostage and those that were taken hostage. Unbelievable. I've looked into their eyes. I've seen the worst nightmares of their suffering. But I've also seen something else, the beautiful love of the people, the love of people, frankly, that hold things together, the love that gives you the courage to carry on through thousands of years of persecution and repression, and to emerge with the heart of David. It's the heart of David. It's that love that's defeated the enemies of civilization, built this incredible country and this unbelievable economy, and forged one of the great democracies of the world.
Now, for more than 2 years, these hostages, they were held in captivity by terrorists in Gaza, by Hamas, and now they are home. Take a look.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. וואי. אוי, כמה.
טוק שלי, בוא, אמא שלך. אוי, נמרוד. ילד גיבור שלי, ילד גיבור. חיים שלי. חיים שלי, אתה חיים שלי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Of Israel, I'm not really sure what part of hundreds of thousands of rockets that have been fired into this small country the size of New Jersey, they don't understand. I'm not sure what part of murder, the equivalent of 40,000 Americans in a day murdered based on their population size versus ours, that they don't understand. I'm not sure what part of rape and kidnapping and beheading they don't understand. I've seen those videos. I wish the world would see them. And now the Middle East, by the way, and the world is changing rapidly right before our eyes, thanks to President Trump. America now is in the driver's seat. Today, every leader from almost every major country around the globe convened in Egypt to thank our president, to praise the administration's pursuit of peace. He's been unrelenting. He has literally been expending so much political time and energy to get this day accomplished and make this happen and commit to helping this become a lasting peace, a lasting coalition. Hours earlier, during his speech at Israel's Knesset, members of Israel's government were chanting Trump, Trump, Trump. Some were even wearing red MAGA hats. Take a look.
I love Israel. I'm with you all the way. You will be bigger, better, stronger, and more loving than ever before. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless the United States of America, and God bless the Middle East. Thank you, everybody. Good luck. Thank you very much. Thank you.
History in the making. For the first time, maybe ever, there was cheering in both Israel and in Gaza. Make no mistake, you're witnessing history that many thought could never happen. But not everyone was particularly happy. The, quote, ceasefire crowd, well, can't seem to say much of anything at this point. It looks like they really didn't want a ceasefire after all, or they simply cannot find it within themselves to ever once, at one time, give President Trump any credit at all. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's dumb, incompetent former Secretary of State, the architect of the Afghanistan withdrawal, Tony Blinken, actually took credit for this deal, posting on X that he was glad that President Trump adopted the Biden plan for peace, which is like the most laughable post I've ever seen. Remember, Obama and Biden, remember their Iranian nuclear deal? Remember they dumped, cash and other currencies and cargo planes on the tarmacs for the mullahs to foment more terror around the world? That was not exactly a peace plan. And that deal would have allowed the Iranians to become a nuclear superpower. In reality, the only thing Blinken ever pulled off was his disinformation campaign against Trump, Of course, he organized the now infamous letter signed by, 51 former intel officials who had never seen Hunter's very real laptop that is now authenticated, falsely suggesting that that laptop that they never saw was likely Russian disinformation. And meanwhile, over at fake news CNN, the network's far-left international correspondent, Christiane Amanpour, forced to apologize over the disgusting comparison to the Holocaust. Take a look.
People who start to talk to the hostages who've only just been released will find that it will take a long, long time for them to recover physically, but also mentally. It's been a terrible, terrible 2 years for them, because not only are they there, you know, they're probably being treated better than the average Gazan because they are the pawns and the chips that Hamas had. Now Hamas has given up all its leverage, by the way, by giving them all up. So that is a victory for the Israeli side.
The hate never stops. The rhetoric was even worse from a former MSDNC host who wrote and then deleted a tweet calling the war in Gaza worse than the Holocaust. Again, for some on the left, peace was never the goal. But for President Trump, peace was always on his mind. And despite the haters and those that doubt, he got it done. That's great for the world, great for Israel, great for the Middle East.
All right. So Donald Trump hit the Middle East today for a truly historic Gaza peace summit, and we have the handshake to prove it. Not even Macron's wife has a grip like that. That handshake lasted longer than the most recent French government. So peace is breaking out in the Middle East and in a part of the world where peace is as common as pulled pork. Apparently, not common. Apparently, it's due to the guy who the narrative creators deemed Hitler. Maybe they have Adolf confused with Gandhi. It happens. I often mistake Katie Porter for Randy Quaid. But it must be strange for the haters to see Gazans join Israelis in chanting Trump's name over and over, which makes us wonder, where are the protesters now? The screaming scumbags who tormented Jews on campus, defaced property, tore down posters of hostages. They yelled, "Free, free Palestine." But now that it's free, they're keeping a lower profile than Greta Thunberg's barber. So why is that? Well, it's the difference between true achievement and delusional narratives. And all those narratives lead to is suffering. Take the arson suspect in the Palisades fire, who had posted memes mocking Trump supporters and frequently shared headlines about climate change. It's a similar false narrative that led to Charlie Kirk's murder, the attempted assassinations of Trump, the attacks on ICE and Teslas. But the climate change narratives may be worse and total harm done. Fraudulent climate models led to draining the taxpayers of trillions, to fight a demon that was as real as Dylan Mulvaney's camel toe. Meanwhile, young people were tortured into thinking the world was going to end every 15 minutes. And now a young climate hysteric causes massive death and destruction, born from fantasy. You see the pattern? But then there's reality, the peace deals. Good news for the real world, but bad news for the delusional left. And it exposes the lie that is behind such activism, that it's harder and more heroic to be angry. No, it's not. It's harder to be good and to attempt the impossible, which is what Trump did. But the media ascribes value not to Trump, but to those who shout the loudest at him. Oh, look at the passion. They care so much. No, it's easy to scream, but it's harder to do the work. It was the work Biden didn't do or couldn't do. Instead, he trafficked in emotional narratives about white supremacy and MAGA extremism, his unfounded accusations papered over the reality that he did nothing for anyone but his family. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen Trump show an ounce of anger about anything? And not just since he became a politician, I mean ever. Hell, even when he got shot, he didn't give the guy the finger. But boy, would Joe Biden get angry just about over anything. Because Joe Biden came from the lethargic, bureaucratic world of the acceptable. Trump came from the world of the unacceptable, meaning Trump refused to accept the decline that Biden had accepted. And for that reason, Trump became unacceptable to people like Joe. And now what Trump has done through his persistent optimism is provide a sharp contrast between the attention-seeking ego and those who wish to improve the lives around them, the golden age, if you will. It's a difference between hopeful action and selfish anger. I know what you're thinking, but Greg, you're pretty angry. And my answer to that is shut up and mind your own business. But it's no wonder the protesters are speechless. Their side lost. And now they'll have to find something new to scream about. And it will be something you know they'll never fix, because even they know it's whatever they likely broke. Let's welcome tonight's guest. We asked to book Trump, but we weren't specific enough. Businessman and author of the new book, Under Siege, Eric Trump. He's so white, he makes Eric Trump look like Denzel Washington. Fox News contributor Tom Shalhoub. He encourages his fans to bring their own material. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. And she had her identity stolen by a broom. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Duke. So, Eric, this was, I believe, the 8th war your dad has ended. Can you imagine if he actually tried?
Well, by the way, exactly 1 year ago, he was serving French fries at McDonald's, and now we've ended 8 wars, including Middle East peace, right? Joe Biden was in there for 4 years. Yeah, he wasn't really in there. The auto pen was in there. He wasn't doing a damn thing, right? He got 0 accomplished, so incredibly proud of my father.
Yeah.
What a great dad. What a great day for the world.
You know, I would say that he's America's dad, but I don't want to go that far. I'm not like Jesse Waters. It's disgusting what he'll say. But are you kind of amazed that that there are still people that cannot kind of reconcile that they might be wrong about your dad? Like they'd rather go to the grave with this in their stomach than actually get it out and say, maybe I screwed up.
How about you take the entire mainstream media?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're literally supporting naked people who are lying on bridges in Portland, right? Going crazy about these issues. I mean, you said it best. Like, you know, everybody in Gaza is chanting Trump. Like, what the hell issue do they have to stand on now? Both the Israelis and the Gazans, they all love Trump. You know, who are they supporting at this point?
Yeah, I think they're supporting their own rage. You know, it's something that makes them feel good.
They've got plenty of that, Greg.
Yes. But it's easy. But it's easier, and kind of the point of, and you know what? I think Tom Shalhoub, you were inspired my monologue because Tom is the type of person you make fun of. He's an optimist. He's always in a good mood. He's square. He's a fuddy-duddy. He's Ned Flanders, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But those are the people that actually do the work. It's the other side, the constantly angry, the people who are seen as passionate. Those are the people that get all the attention, while you, who does the work, does not. Do you follow that?
Thank you, Greg. I like the sound of that. That's maybe why I'm so happy today, and I see so many frustrated people on the left. I want to be in that Nobel Peace Prize meeting when they're trying to work it out. I know they won't allow me to do it. I'm sure it's in a private room, but it's going to be so awkward. You know, they're going to be like, okay, welcome to order. I wonder who's going to get the prize this year. Go ahead, just shout out the names there. Donald Trump. I can't hear out of my ear there.
Pretty much.
Donald Trump. Oh, don't everybody talk at once.
You just became Italian.
Yeah, exactly. He's like this, yeah. What did you say there? Oh, Taylor Swift. That's a good one, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, yeah, she's going to marry that football player. That's good. Let's give it to her. I like that idea. I guess he was supposed to be Swedish. I don't know. I can't do the Swedish.
You were Swedish and then you went Italian.
Well, maybe because it's a Columbus Day.
Norwegian.
You're a meatball. Jamie, do you think, you see what Trump is doing in the Middle East? Imagine what he could have done with you and your ex-wife.
It's so funny you said that. When I was researching Nobel Peace Prize winners, I had no idea in 2020 the lady that did my ex-wife's divorce won. I think he's a real candidate for that. I think he should get the Nobel Prize. Look at what it's all about. And Greg, this has nothing to do with the fact that Eric Trump is looking at me. But isn't it fun to talk about Trump having Eric? This would be like.
I know it is funny.
It's so fun. It would be like if Hunter Biden was on. You asked me if I liked crack.
You know what it is? It's weird though. I don't really think when you bring it up, I forget that he's actually his son because all we do is we talk about Trump anyway.
Yeah. As soon as they said his last name, I was like, yep. But think about all that Trump has done. Not just this, but all that he's done. This is like mind-blowing. He basically did the impossible. That's basically what it's like. And if you look at there's nothing Biden did that there would ever be a conversation about a Nobel Peace. Like nothing. He would win like little prize. I heard they gave him little prizes when he would make it all the way to the toilet. But
they would give him the prize from the Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
A little tiny book.
Yeah, I heard he got it like twice.
Kat, does it matter? Who cares about the Nobel Prize? I don't care. It's like if you win it, it means you probably don't. You're not that great.
I mean, this is such a huge win already, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand how everyone has to really. The only take is that this is a great win. Great job to President Trump. This is amazing. This is exciting. I mean, even Hillary Clinton had to commend him on this, and he ruined her life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He did. There are a lot of people, obviously, who hate Trump for whatever reason, but she hates him. He took her life and just fall. All her hopes and dreams were crushed. And she's like, I really commend him on this. So if there's anyone out there who feels like they can't, then you really got to take a look at yourself.
My cynicism says she's getting something out of this Middle East deal. She's a shark for money. So there's got to be something where her and Bill are seeing some cash come out of Qatar or something. Don't you think? What would make her like Trump? Some money.
I mean, if you're going to be against literal peace in the Middle East, that's a real tough look.
That's true. Is it weird? I got to go to break, Eric. But did you ever think, when you were the son of Donald Trump, that was kind of enough, right? When he was just doing The Apprentice, did you think he was going to do this and make your life even crazier?
Yeah, and then I got dragged into this very nice world where I became the most subpoenaed person in American history for doing that. No laptops from hell, no prostitution, no, what did you use, crack? I mean, he was on a lot of stuff, right? So we'll use your example. Listen, isn't it the beauty of the power of positive thinking, right? Every one of these people said this could not be done. Peace in the Middle East could not exist. And he comes out day one, we're going to get peace in the Middle East, right? That's the power of positive thinking. That's the difference between a business person and these just career bureaucrats. I'm very proud of them.
You said that phrase twice. Did your dad make you read The Power of Positive Thinking? Or
100%. But by the way, he was always a great cheerleader.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this country needed. We needed a cheerleader. We didn't have anybody. There's no cheerleaders for this country. Obama literally went around the world apologizing for American greatness, right? And yet he shows up in the Middle East. They don't even send him a staircase to the plane. Do you remember the Air Force One? He'd have to go out the kids' stairs, and there'd be no red carpet. And, don't we want America to be proud of America? Well, look at that scene today.
Thank you for that applause.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.